And we'll be back live with Audley Harrison in the gym as he continues his preparations for the hay fights.
Let's get back to Big Bear in California now, where our reporter Craig Slater has been spending time in Audley Harrison's training camp as he prepares for his world title fight against David Haye next month. Craig.
Thank you. Yes, we have had access all areas with the Harrison camp, and now we've got in the ring with him. Here he is, Audley Harrison. He's just starting out his daily gym session today, so he's just doing a bit of stretching at the moment, but it gives us a good chance just to take a look at his physique. And when you think about Audley Harrison, you do have to say he has all the raw materials for a 21st century heavyweight, doesn't he? 6'5.5", 6'6" or thereabouts. He weighs about 18 stone. He's light on his feet, as you can see. He's got an 86-inch reach, which is 2 inches more than Nikolai Valuev. So he is an intimidating sight to look at these close quarters. And you can see from the kind of bodysuit he's got on at the moment what kind of condition he's in. You know, the stomach looks flat, good muscle definition. Just look at the muscles on his legs. And it's often from the legs in heavyweight boxing that you do get the power. And Audley Harrison has been saying all along in the run-up to this fight that he's going to knock David Haye out. He's going to bring in that left hand from the southpaw stance to detonate on David Haye's chin and prove that he is a false prophet. That's what he calls David Haye. But a cathedral hush at the moment with all the camp gathered around watching this workout. But alongside me is Shadid Suluki, and I guess you must like what you see at this stage, Shadid. I mean, he looks almost ready to go in there right now, and we're still a few weeks away.
Well, actually, he is ready to go, but I'm holding him back a little bit. Ali wants to go now, and right now I'm kind of holding the rings back because it's not time. Yeah. But he's getting hard to handle now.
Yeah. So where are we at in terms of sparring and everything else? I mean, at the peak weeks, I guess, at the moment of sparring, and then we'll taper down towards the fight itself. Is that it?
Right. We have approximately about a good 3 weeks of good boxing left. And he's really, he's doing great. He's really ahead. Like I said, I have to kind of hold him back because I don't want him to peak too soon.
Yeah. We can see that the sparring partners you have over there, we've got Israel and Joel there. Joel's a cruiserweight. Israel, obviously a heavyweight. You can see him just getting gloved up there. But so you're working so they can handle power and also they can handle speed, presumably.
Yes, well, we got for the power, the strength, the heavyweight. Israel brings that. And then Joel, he's a cruiserweight with lightning fast hands, fast feet. So if David tried to run, we'd be able to catch him. Yeah. And then we have another sparring partner coming in today. Daniel Saki is going to bring something to the table as well. So we're really prepared for David, whatever he brings to the table.
Is there any age concern in this camp? I know Audley likes the age is just a number, and we'd all kind of agree with that. But there's a 9-year age gap between the pair of them. David Haye's still in his 20s, although he'll turn 30 this month as well. Audley's a decade on him, if you like. What kind of factor is that?
Well, I think it's a good factor. Audley is mature. He's a mature fighter. David's, like Audley said, a boy right now, and he's going to treat him like a boy. So the age factor, nah, it's no problem. And then if you remember the old school, Archie Moore was, 38 when he won the title. Jersey Joe Walcott, they were way up in the 30s, and they were fighting 15 rounds then.
Yeah, and I guess we have to remember as well, Audley was a late starter. Didn't start boxing till he was 19 years of age. And there's a bit of symmetry, I suppose, in his career, if you look at it that way. Started boxing at 19, 29, wins Olympic gold in Sydney, and now 39. Maybe the world title, so it kind of balances out.
Well, maybe? You said maybe. No, the world title.
Well, we've got to have the fight yet, haven't we?
Well, you know what? This is his destiny. This is my destiny. This is our destiny. And maybe, no, he will win.
Let's go put that to Audley quickly. I wonder, Audley, no maybes in your mind, I guess, huh? No maybes for you. You're definite.
100%. No doubt in my mind. Knocking out David Haye and becoming the new WBA heavyweight champion of the world.
Okay. No doubt. No worries. Well, they're just at the beginning of the workout, but I'm sure if you come back to us a little bit later on here in Big Bear, we'll see the leather starting to fly here in Audley Harrison's gym in California.
Okay, thanks very much indeed, Craig. Very interesting. We'll be back there a little bit later on.
Let's get back to Big Bear, California now, where our reporter Craig Slater has been spending time in Audley Harrison's training camp as he prepares for his world title fight against David Haye next month.
Thank you. Yes, and as promised, the leather is starting to fly in Audley Harrison's gym. Here he is on the pads with his trainer Shadid Suluki. And looking at him here, these are genuine heavyweight punches. Audley Harrison is southpaw, of course, so the power punches tend to come from the left hand. You can see the way he's standing there with the right foot forward and reining in those short left crosses at the moment. But that's one of the big question marks, I suppose, in this fight, is who is the puncher in the contest? Is it David Haye, who's got 22 knockout wins in his 25 fights, or is it Audley Harrison, who has 20 knockout victories in his 31 fights, albeit Audley Harrison's career has been entirely at heavyweight, so he's had to deal and knock out bigger guys. And certainly when you look at the weight disparity that there will be between these two fighters, Audley Harrison is a genuine super heavyweight, if you like. That's the weight he won Olympic gold that back in 2000. He's going to weigh in at a little under 18 stone perhaps. We expect David Haye to come in at something about 15 stone 8, 15 stone 10. So Audley Harrison will be carrying a 2 stone weight advantage, and that extra 2 stone of ballast put into heavy shots like that, you might think could do serious damage to David Haye. But maybe let's get the perspective of a cruiserweight on this, because Joell Godfrey's been sparring with Audley Harrison in the run-up to this. So obviously you've been brought in for speed, Joell, right. But just how hard does he hit?
He hits very hard, man. That's something that David Haye really don't want to do, is sit right in front of him. But regardless of what, man, the things we've been working on in the gym, he's been perfecting it every day. And it's going to look great when he's in on November 13th. But he's a true heavyweight.
And how is he keeping up with you, speed-wise?
Speed-wise, he's right there with me. And by the fight time, everything's going to be perfect, you know. Everything's going to be perfect.
Because we maybe also think, we look at, David Haye, and I guess the accepted viewpoint of him is that he kind of fights in spurts. Right. Maybe circles the ring a little bit and then quick bursts of action. Is Audley equipped to make him work for 3 minutes of every round?
He's going to be surprised. That's all I can tell you. He's going to be surprised what he's going to do on the 13th. The things I want to say, I can't say. That's something David Haye's going to have to find out for himself, hands-on, on the 13th. And he will be surprised, trust me.
And what would you tell me about his kind of mindset, the level of focus he has? I mean, he kind of runs this team, we know that. He's very demanding of everyone. How much does he want it?
He wants it like a mother wants a newborn child, man, that's in her stomach, man. It's like labor right now. And it's going to be crazy when the baby is born, man. I'm telling you, the dude is ferociously focused, man. Focus.
And when you're thinking of the genesis of Audley Harrison's career, it's worth remembering, I said a little bit earlier, that he didn't start boxing till he was 19 years of age. This is no cosseted young sportsman that's come up through an academy or something like that. When Audley Harrison was in his late teens, he was in Feltham Young Offenders Institute, he was in Norwich Prison. He was learning from the University of Adversity, if you like. But it's to his enormous credit, as far as I'm concerned, that he was able to turn to boxing, and through that and the help he had at the Repton Club in North London, he still speaks in reverential terms about the old amateur trainer he had then. He put himself through school. He obtained a sports science and business degree from Brunel University as well. And then, of course, the amateur career really did take off. Olympic gold in Sydney in 2000, to follow Commonwealth gold in Kuala Lumpur in 1998. The professional career has been a little bit checkered, I suppose. You'll have followed his career, I guess, over here, Joel. He went through that bad patch, lost 4 fights out of 8. But sometimes can that be the making of a fighter?
Exactly. I mean, a fighter never knows what he really has until a fighter takes his first loss. And he has 4 just like I have 4, and we learn from our losses just like you learn from your wins. Everything in everyday struggle is a learning process. And November 13th is going to be a big learning process for David Haye, I mean, I give David Haye his credit for taking the fight and everything, man, but everybody has his day. The 13th is his.
He really is throwing these punches in here with plenty of venom, planting his feet. He wants every punch to be the, hurtful punch. Terry Harrison's watching this as well. There is maybe a personal element to this fight. These two were friends. They're certainly not anymore. How does that affect things?
Well, I just think it's I think deep down David knows where he went wrong. So grateful for David giving Audley the opportunity, because I think really the British public, a lot of people still written Audley off for this fight. So a lot of people are going to be surprised on the 13th.
How would you say he's moving? You've watched them all through the years as well. Is he as moving as well now as he was before the Olympics? Say he reckons he's in that kind of shape.
Well, I think now is the best place for him. I think now will prove.
Good stuff, Terry. Audley, we're asking the question here, who's the puncher in this fight? As far as you're concerned, are you the puncher in this fight? You look at him as a cruiserweight that's come up to heavyweight?
No, David's definitely shown that he's a puncher. You have to give him respect. He's definitely a puncher. He can bang. But anyone who's got any sense will know that my left hand is equal to his right hand. So I believe I'm a bigger puncher than David. I believe I'm more accurate than David. And the big difference is I know I can take David's right hand. Yeah. And he cannot take my right hand, my left hand. Trust me. Yeah. He's going to land at some point in this fight. And David Haye, we're going to see. I told you, Moormate put him down. Bloody Carl Thompson's put him down. Jim Twice put him down. He's been put down a lot. Longer Mock put him down. You saw me get knocked out one time by Michael Sprott with a beautiful shot. Other than that, Danny Williams put me down. I got back up. And Danny Williams is a big puncher. So whatever you want to say about Danny Williams, he's a big puncher. And in the amateurs, I went down one time.
We just have to say, we have to obviously be careful with the language. We apologise to anyone that's offended. I would say, he did say in the news conference, didn't he, the left hand isn't going to connect. Did that betray something? That the thought of your left hand connecting isn't something he wants to dwell upon?
Well, David's got speed. He's got a good boxing brain in terms of his talent. But, David's going to have to come from behind in this fight. It's not going to be a question of David's going to be ahead. At some point, I'm going to connect. At some point, my left hand's going to land on him. And that's not all I got. This ain't just about a puncher's chance. This is the sweet science.
How much?
The sweet science. You know what I mean? So it's not just about, like, I'm going in there with a puncher's chance. It's man against boy. I'm told you, I'm going in there, I'm going to school David Haye, the so-called future of the heavyweight division. I told you, David Haye's a false prophet. He ain't the future. He ain't the future. You get me? And I'm telling you that, trust me, he's not the future.
Is it going to have to be the best Audley Harrison by a distance, or the best we've seen so far as a professional?
Well, I think you saw even the Audley Harrison that turned up Danny Williams 2 would have destroyed David Haye. I mean, it's simple as that. The Audley Harrison that turned up Danny Williams 2 would have destroyed most people. The Audley Harrison that turned up when I fought Rochelle Assisia would have destroyed David Haye. The Audley Harrisons that turning up on November 13th is going to destroy David Haye. There's no surprises to me.
Okay, fair enough. There's not a shred of doubt there at all, is there?
No doubt at all. Trust.
Okay, well, you can see what kind of mood and focus Audley Harrison has in the run-up to this fight. He's absolutely convinced that come November the 13th, he will be ripping that WBA heavyweight title away from David Haye.
Thanks, Craig. You can see that fight, Audley Harrison against David Haye for the WBA heavyweight title, live from the MEN Arena on Saturday, November the 13th. Coverage starts from 9 o'clock on Sky Box Office HD. Go to Sky Box Office for further details of how to order the fight.